Family dinners at my in-laws' house were supposed to feel warm, comforting, a place where love and laughter overflowed. At least, that's how I imagined them before marrying into the family. The reality was far different. My wife's family had always kept me at arm's length, treating me like a tolerated guest rather than a son-in-law. But what hurt more than their coldness toward me was how that coldness spilled over onto my kids. That night, we were all gathered at my in-laws' house. It was supposed to be casual, games for the kids, chatting for the adults, and dinner later. Around 7 p.m., my mother-in-law announced they'd be ordering takeout. She pulled out her phone, asked everyone what they wanted, and even wrote each order down with care. I waited, expecting her to ask my two kids, Ethan, who was 9, and Lily, just 6, what they'd like. But she didn't. I thought maybe it was a mistake. She went down the line, asking her other kids, their spouses, even the grandchildren from my wife's siblings. She noted every preference, from extra cheese to no pickles. Then she closed the notepad, satisfied, and dialed the restaurant. My kids exchanged glances with me, confused. Ethan tugged at my sleeve and whispered, "Dad, she didn't ask us." I gave him a reassuring squeeze. "Maybe she's just coming back to it," I whispered back. But deep down I knew better. When the food arrived, bags filled the kitchen counter. Everyone's names were written neatly on boxes. Everyone except my kids. I'll never forget the look on their faces as they peeked into those bags, searching for their names, only to realize there was nothing there for them. Lily's little shoulders slumped, and Ethan forced a smile, saying, "It's okay, Dad. We're not that hungry." But I could see the truth in their eyes. I swallowed hard, my anger boiling. They weren't forgotten. They were excluded. And it wasn't the first time. My in-laws had always made it clear, my kids weren't their priority. They favored the other grandkids openly, gifting them more at Christmas, fawning over their school achievements, while treating mine like shadows in the room. But this was different. This was deliberate. I walked into the kitchen, where my wife's siblings were unpacking their food. "Excuse me," I said, my voice sharper than I intended. "Did no one order for Ethan and Lily?" Silence. My mother-in-law glanced up, almost dismissive. "Oh, I didn't think to. They can share with you, can't they?" Share? With me? I had ordered a single meal, assuming my kids would have their own like everyone else. My chest tightened. "They're children," I said firmly. "They deserve their own meals, just like your other grandkids." The room grew quiet. My wife's sister muttered, "It's not that big a deal." But it was. To my kids, it was everything. I walked back to the living room, where Ethan and Lily sat quietly, pretending not to notice the laughter and the smell of food filling the house. I knelt in front of them, my heart breaking. "Come on," I said softly. "We're going." Their eyes widened. "But Dad," Ethan started. "No buts," I said gently. "We're going to get our own dinner. A proper one." I grabbed their jackets, held their hands, and walked them out. My wife followed us to the door, whispering, "Please don't make a scene." I turned to her, my voice low but heavy. "A scene? They left your children out, Claire. They left them hungry. And you want me to stay silent?" She looked away. She had always been reluctant to stand up to her family. But that night my patience was gone. We drove to their favorite diner, a small place with neon lights and red vinyl booths. I let them order whatever they wanted. Pancakes for dinner, milkshakes, fries, the works. As they laughed and ate, the heaviness in my chest lifted just a little. Ethan grinned with whipped cream on his nose, and Lily leaned against me, her mouth full of fries. "Thanks, Dad," she mumbled. In that moment, I made a silent promise. Never again. My children would never feel second best under my watch. When we got home later that night, I put them to bed, kissed their foreheads, and went downstairs to find my wife waiting. She looked torn, guilty. "They didn't mean it," she said weakly. "Yes, they did," I replied. "And you know it. But here's what's going to change. I won't put my kids in that position again. If your family can't treat them like they matter, then they won't see them at all." Her eyes filled with tears. She wanted to argue, but deep down, she knew I was right. That night had stripped away all illusions. From then on, things were different. I drew a hard line, one I refused to bend. Family was supposed to be about love, fairness, and care. If my in-laws couldn't give that, then they weren't family to my kids. Because no child should ever sit at a table full of food and feel invisible.